Hello, welcome to my channel Persian with Ashkan. In this channel, I'll help you learn Persian. What we call Persian in English is called Farsi or Parsi in Persian. Farsi is more common, and it's this one. Farsi is spoken in Afghanistan, Tajikistan, and Iran. Although in Afghanistan, a lot of people call it Dari, and the government recognizes Farsi as Dari. Almost 70 million people speak Persian natively, but there are also other people who use it as their second language, so a total of 110 million people speak Farsi. Of course, I think this data is a bit outdated, and there are more who speak Persian. Farsi is as much Arabic as French is English. French and English are two different languages, although they share a lot of words. Farsi and Arabic are the same. They have similar words, but those words don't necessarily mean the same thing. They are false friends. For example, the word marhaba in Arabic, marhaba, means hello. But the same word in Persian means well done, marhaba. But the word salam, salam is an Arabic word, but in Persian we use it for hello. And we say, when we see someone, we say salam, salam, khubid. So the word salam in Arabic means peace. So you see, it's different. Knowing Arabic doesn't mean that you also know Persian, but the words might have the same root and might sometimes have a similar meaning. Unlike English, we write Farsi from right to left, so the direction is the reverse. It's the same as Arabic and Hebrew. One important thing that you need to know is that in Persian, some vowels are not written. Let's take a look at this example. The word Zaban means language and tongue. If you count what I've written in English, Z-A-B-A-N, you can see that there are 5 letters. But above, we have Z, B, A, N, and there are 4 letters. In fact, one of the vowels is missing, and it's not written, but it is read. The missing vowel is a short vowel. It sounds a, and it's called fatheh. In Persian, we never write it, unless if we are teaching students, young students at school, will learn this. There are 3 short vowels in Persian: a, e, o. They are almost always the same in every word. That means that we don't have a, so those are different. And in English, we have more short vowels. So let's not confuse them with Persian vowels. And be careful and try to use the proper vowel. Let's read this example. Za, ze, zo. Za, ze, zo. Please pause the video and practice. While short vowels are not written, the long vowels are. The long vowels are a, u, e. The first letter on the right is a. A is always a. The second letter is u, but sometimes it can also sound like v, v. So you can combine this with short vowels, vo, va, ve. The third one is e, but it also sounds like y, y, like English y, 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 yard. This also can be mixed with short vowels, a, e, o, ya, ye, yo. Please pause the video and practice the long vowels. Then again, listen. A, U, E. But what should we do if we want to use a short vowel at the beginning of a word? We use aleph and then we add the short vowel, like as. As. As in Persian means from a place. As khane, from home. As madrase, from school. Now let's work on the Persian alphabet. As you can see, there are 32 letters in the Persian alphabet. The first letter is Aleph. Aleph. The word alphabet comes from the Hebrew letters Aleph and Bet. It's the same in Persian. We say Aleph, Ba. Ba is Be and Aleph is A. Aleph. This can sound like O, like Oftad. It starts with this letter. Or it can sound like A, like Ba, which means dad. Or it can sound like A, like as. It can also sound E, like insan, human. The second letter in Persian is B. It is also called B. We can mix this with A, E, O. Ba, Be, Bo. The third letter is P. It sounds like P in English. It's also called Pe, and it can be read like Pa, Pe, Po. The fourth letter is Te. Be careful. There is also another Te in Persian. We will get to that later. Don't mix it with that one. We call this Te donokhte. The word donokhte means 2 dots. As you can see, this letter has 2 dots above. It can be read as ta, te, to. The fifth letter is se. Be careful, this one also has another equivalent in Persian. We'll get to that later. We call this se senokhte. Senokhte means 3 dots. And as you can see, this one has 3 dots above. So, until now, we have learned 2 Persian numbers as well. Number 2 and number 3. Can you remember number 2? Think. Pause the video and say it. 2 is do, do. 3 is se. This letter can help you remember number 3, se. The sixth letter is J. We call it Jim. The next letter is Che. Che is very similar to J, and it looks like He, but they're very different. Che has three dots. The next letter is He. This is what we call the Arabic He, because it's mostly found in Arabic words, and you cannot really find it in Persian words. There is another form that is used in Persian words. You can read this as He, Ha, Ho. The next letter is Khe. Khe is very similar to He, Je, Che, and has a sound. So it scratches your throat a bit. This sound does not exist in English, but it exists in Hebrew and Arabic and some other languages. And this sounds like the word Julio in Spanish, I think. That sounds like this letter. In Arabic, ha and kha are very close and they're very similar. Sometimes when you listen to the ha, the Arabic ha, you might hear a slight kha underneath it. For example, when the Arabs pronounce the word alhamd, they say alhamd, alhamd, and you can hear that kha sound there. The next letter is dal. We call this dal, but it's pronounced de, da, or do. Now about de or dal, you should pay attention that sometimes zamme or o takes the form of vav in front of it. So this letter here is actually o, and this word is do, which is number 2. Dal is zal. This letter in Arabic is pronounced like the, but it's not pronounced like that in Persian, and it's pronounced z. This z is mostly found in Arabic words, but I think there are some Persian words that use this letter. This letter is re. It's the 12th letter of the Persian alphabet. This letter sounds like R in English, but it should be stressed a bit more. For example, we say ride. This re is a bit soft, but in Persian we say raft. This re is a bit more stressed and it's not as soft as R in English. The next letter is Z. We also call this reze. Reze looks like re, and it's used mostly in Persian words, but you can also see this in Arabic words too. The next letter is J. J is very similar to Z, but it has 3 dots, and it's pronounced like the way the French say J, like Jean. The name Jean, that J, is how this letter is pronounced. This is called sin, and it's pronounced se, so, or sa. Sin is used in Persian words. It's different from the se with 3 dots. When you're writing Persian words and when you're writing in Persian, there are cases that if you use this se, instead of the se with three dots, the meaning will change drastically, and you might get a totally different word. This is shin or she. It's very similar to se, but there is a hissing in it, and you say shh shh. It's like you're trying to silence someone. Believe it or not, this is also se. Sounds like se. We call this sad, and this letter is used as frequently as sin and se. Pay attention that sad, sin, and se, they all sound the same in Persian. Can you guess what this letter is? This letter is Zad. It sounds like Zal and Ze. The next letter is mostly used in Arabic words. This is called Ta. You will find this in Arabic words, and words with Persian roots do not use this letter. The next letter has a similar form but a very different sound. This is Za. In Persian, it's pronounced just like Zal and Ze. You must not confuse it with the other ones. And you must remember to always give it a dot. Without that dot, it sounds like Ta. The next letter is Ain. In Arabic, it's pronounced like A, like Ain, Ain. But in Persian, we pronounce this like E. And this actually sometimes doesn't have any sound, and it just used like aleph. So you can say the word like umr. Use this one. This is mostly used in Arabic, and we don't use it for Persian words that have Persian origin. The next letter is Qain or Qain. This is like Ain, and it's from Arabic, and it comes from Arabic roots. However, you will find this in Persian words too. The word moq and baq. These were originally Persian, and they both used this letter. The reason is that a long time ago, in Persian, there used to be two pronunciations for the letter q, but it no longer exists, and these two have merged. We still need to see the next q. The next letter is f. It's like fowl or friend. It's pronounced the same. For example, the word fil means elephant. This is the other q I was talking about. This is called qaf, and you can see the other form mostly in Arabic letters. The next letter is kaf. It sounds like ke, ke. The next letter that is like ke, it's very similar, and it looks similar too. Only it has some extra marking above. And it's pronounced ge, and it's called gaf. Ga, ge, go. If a word has ge in it, you can be sure that it's not Arabic, because ge does not exist in Arabic. That's also true for je, che, and pe. After ge or gaf, the next letter is le or lam. We call this lam, and it sounds like L in English. Laye, it means layer. Locht, it means naked. This letter is called meme, and it sounds like m, m, ma, me, mo. For example, مادر, which you can probably guess what it means. It means mother. Now we only have 4 letters left. This is nun. It sounds like n, na, ne, no. For example, namak, which means salt. This letter you already know. This is vav, and it sounds like v, like V in English. V. Be careful. Don't pronounce it like we. We don't have that in Persian. It's always pronounced v, v. Vav can also sound like oo, which is a long vowel, and we do write long vowels. An example is this word, dude, dude, which means smoke. This is he. He is used both in Persian words and Arabic words. Ha, he, ho. This is the last letter of the Persian alphabet. This is ye, ye. Now let's practice some simple words. Can you read this? It's Baba. Baba. It means father. Can you read this one? Please pause the video and try. This is Maman. It means mom. This word is also used in French, so you might have already known that. That thing above Aleph makes it sound like ah. So this is ab. What does ab mean? Ab means water. Now let's have a recap and read all the letters together. Aleph, a, e, o. B, ba, be, bo. P, pa, pe, po. T, ta, te, to. Se, sa, se, so. In the second line, J, or Jim. Ja, je, jo. Che, cha, che, cho. He, ha, he, ho. He, ha, he, ho. De, da, de, do. What was this called? Dal. The third line. This is zal. Za, ze, zo. This is re. Ra, re, ro. Za, ze, zo. This is je. Ja, je, jo. What is this? Sin. Sa, se, so. The fourth line. This is shin. Sha, she, sho. Sad. Sa, se, so. Zad. Za, ze, zo. Ta. Ta, te, to. Za. Za, ze, zo. Ein or ein. A, e, o. This is qain. Qa, qe, qo. This is fe. Fa, fe, fo. This is qaf. Ka, ke, ko. This is kaf. Ka, ke, ko. The sixth line. Ga, ge, go. This is gaf. The next letter. La, le, lo. This is lam. This is mim. Ma, me, mo. This is noon. Na, ne, no. This is vav. Va, ve, vo. And these two letters, the first one on the right is ha, ha, he, ho, and ye, ya, ye, yo. Practice at home. How do you say these words? Next session, I will check them out for you. I hope that this video has been useful for you. If it was, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and comment right below.